Yesterday, D. Wood, are the 3-0 Chargers the best team in the AFC?
I'm going yes. I am. That Justin Herbert right now.
Look at this throw.
He's a cyborg, right? Like Jim Harbaugh right now has breathed new life and confidence in this young man. They play terrific defense. This Chargers team is for real.
The Colts might be for real, too. They're also 3-0. Dan, in your mind, is it done? They're going to win the AFC South.
Yeah, I think this is a wrap. One, their offensive line is playing big-time football. Two, they've got Daniel Jones playing in a version that we have never seen before. They've got a plethora of playmakers. They're running the football with Jonathan Taylor. The way that he is distributing the football has been big-time. The pieces around him make this sustainable.
Right now, Daniel Jones is playing as well as any quarterback in the NFL.
Right now, he's in the MVP competition.
He is. I'm not suggesting it'll stay that way, but right now he is. Rex, have the Steelers, who forced 5 turnovers against New England, finally fixed their defense?
Well, I mean, it's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Brady. I mean, because they were absolutely atrocious the first weeks of the season. Look, without those 5 takeaways, it might have been a different story. So I'm not going to say they fixed them completely, but it's certainly a step in the right direction.
Let's stop down and talk about that game for a minute. The first 2 weeks of the season were really confusing. I found myself saying, like, who are you and what have you done with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Everything they did looked so unlike themselves. They turned it around yesterday in large part because of the turnovers. I'm just saying, the turnovers
the only
were
reason
what they were.
They were thoroughly outplayed by New England.
And then Rodgers, yes. I mean, in every other way, they were outplayed, but they still have Aaron Rodgers at 41. What did you see?
Thoroughly outplayed by the Patriots. I watched the game going, how did New England lose it?
Right.
The Steelers' 2 wins, they've been outgained by like 300 yards.
Yes.
If you want to bank on all those turnovers, God bless you. The pick takes away points off the board from New England that gets tipped in the air. I thought they were beat at the line of scrimmage a ton. Aaron made 2 or 3 like really nice timing throws that end up being touchdowns. For me, the Steelers should have lost that game, should have lost week 1. I'm unimpressed. I thought they were thoroughly outplayed.
When we talk about the better teams in the AFC, do they look like a team that could get there? Clearly, they haven't been that so far. The 2 teams they've beaten, I don't think we expect to be in the playoff race. Maybe New England gets hot as the season goes on. We'll see. The Jets haven't won a game. But do they show you any signs, D. Wood, of a team that by the time we get to November and December will be in there with the better teams in the AFC?
No, absolutely not. Like, they don't run the ball. They don't run the ball well on offense. The quarterback still gets beat up. Their defense, with a lot of big name people, they're old. Like, I don't think that the way they're going to continue to struggle defensively because I think they're old on defense and they're going to continue to get exposed.
Yeah, the thing that my biggest concern is how they're defending the run. Like, the Steelers always were tougher than hell against the run. Not anymore, man.
No.
And without those fumbles, like, oh my gosh.
And the one tip.
I mean, they fumbled at the goal line.
Yeah, and threw a pick
Right.
Tip down the 3-yard line.
Like,
Right.
Jeff, do you final word on the Steelers?
Well, they have a big game in Dublin on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings, who will be starting in that particular game Carson Wentz, which is a great little matchup. And the Patriots, I think, have to be a little bit disappointed to open the season at
They
home.
should be 3-0.
At home against the Raiders, Miami, and the Steelers had a chance to win all 3, and they are 1.
Gave the games away. Both Patriot losses, you feel like self-inflicted wounds are the reason why they lost.
Well, the good thing about being a Steeler fan is you do get nothing but backup quarterbacks down the road on you, right? I mean, you're getting
No Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no Joe Burrow. Carson Wentz is going to be in there. I mean, there's so many backup quarterbacks, and they get to face them all.
All right, we'll see what happens with all of them. And then there was another team that we thought might be the best in the league, and then yesterday happened, and now we have all kinds of questions. Love and the Packers with a late-game meltdown in Cleveland, and we found a weak link for Green Bay. And we're craziest game of the day without question, and I think an important one for the Eagles, whose sort of aura of inevitability comes through in a big way, and so does their offense. Jalen Hurts had 3 touchdown passes and had more 10-yard completions in the second half yesterday than he did in the first 150 minutes of football that he played this season. And after the game, his main target, A.J. Brown, says he loved it.
I truly believe, man, we got so many good players on this team, and at times, you can feel like we're being conservative. And I don't think it should be like that. I think it should, let your killers do their thing, and play fast and play aggressive. I'm not saying that we haven't been, but me personally, that's what I would like.
And that, I think, is what makes the Eagles the best team in football. You talked about it yesterday in our when we were all watching the games together, and you talked about it here today. There has developed an aura of inevitability. Whatever it takes on a given week, A.J. Brown has a big day, block a field goal, whatever you need to do, they're going to find a way to win.
Jalen Hurts in his last 17 starts is 17-0. And when you watch them,
Dude, that's how
17-0. When you watch them, you feel like you're watching Tom Brady with the Patriots in his prime, Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs in his prime. You feel like they're going to find a way, whatever it is, somehow, some way, to win the game. And there were any number of plays yesterday where the Rams had the Eagles on the ropes. All they had to do was make one play at various points in the fourth quarter, and the Eagles never allowed that to happen. They find a way to get it done. The Eagles have become inevitable, and that is their great superpower. They find a way to block a kick, to return it for a touchdown, to do whatever it takes to win a game that at one point in time we thought they had no chance of winning.
Absolutely. And Dan, I'm almost embarrassed that I was asking this question yesterday, but with all the talk about the tush push and all the talk about what they're doing, and they were the only team in the NFL that hadn't thrown a touchdown pass in the first 2 weeks, we were actually having a conversation. If they need to open up this offense, can they? And then in the second half, they needed to, and boy, did they ever.
Yeah, Jalen, that second half was about as good as I've seen him play. I think it's about as good as you can play. I mean, there was 3 or 4 plays in that second half that you go, that's the play of the game. That's the play of the game. The double move to A.J. Brown, the touchdown pass to A.J. Brown when he checks it, the 3rd and 10 in route to Devontae Smith, the 4th and goal ball where he sees the safety and Devontae wins on that little out route. It was just unbelievable. I love the way that they put A.J. Brown by himself on those 3rd downs and said, we got the best receiver in football, or certainly one of them. Let's go give him a chance. And the thing that stands out to me, the throws are perfect. You know, as much as sometimes, and I've been critical of this, of being like, is Jalen Hurts that good at throwing the ball? Now, A.J. going back, strong hands on some of those curl routes. But the fact that they made that adjustment to put A.J. by himself and said, go win, Jalen made the plays, and I think that Fred Johnson going to right tackle was a big deal because after Lane Johnson got hurt prior, ended up getting beat. Fred Johnson solidified it, gave Jalen. If we took Jalen out there with 14 other quarterbacks in the league and we just put him in shorts and we just watched him throw, I don't know if he would be in your top 10 as far as just watching him do that. But all that dude does is figure out what takes to win that game and goes and does it. And that's why you got to put him in your top 5 conversation.
Absolutely.
Shefty brought up, you brought up New England. That's what it just really comes to mind. It's not going to always be the prettiest. But Jalen Hurts and company, they do what winners do. They go out and make the plays necessary. They can beat you any type of way. They can play any type of game you want. If you want to run it, they could run it. If they need to throw it, they can throw it. That's why Jalen Hurts is 17-0 over his last 17 games. I don't think Jalen Hurts cares about stats and all that type of stuff. He just wants to go out there and just make the proper play. And that's what, at me watching Jalen Hurts, that's what I appreciate most. It's not an ego or anything like that. He just goes out there and does what's necessary to help his team win football games.
It should also be pointed out, they're so ridiculously talented. I mean, any idea that anyone else is the team to beat in the NFL now seems ridiculous after watching the second half of that game. But you look at all of the when they need, like A.J. Brown, they don't even use half the time.
Right.
Like if A.J. Brown was in a different offense, in a different situation, when we talk about the best receivers in the sport, yesterday Randy sat down with Jefferson and Chase, and we were like, oh, clearly the 2 best receivers in the sport. A.J. Brown, if he was in a different situation, might absolutely be in that. His level of physicality and all that.
His physical dominance
it's
is good
ridiculous.
It's as good as
and they
anybody.
don't even use it more than half the time.
Well, I think that's their football philosophy.
That's
their
what I
team
mean.
Philosophy is like, this is how we're going to play this game. And that's kind of why I said a month ago, it felt like Sirianni and Hurts were the modern version of Belichick and Brady. It's like whatever it takes. And so you just have to sit back and marvel at their ability to be the chameleon and what's needed in certain games.
100%. I tell you where they're amazing. Situational
football, man.
Situational football. How much so? How about 8 for 8 in red zone this year? All right, 8 out of 8 in the red zone.
Yep.
Okay, 11 out of 12 on 3rd and short yardage. 11 for 12.
Man.
And okay, yeah, we know some of it's that the Philly tush push or whatever. It doesn't matter. Situational football is amazing. Game manager at the quarterback position. No position affects win-loss more than the quarterback. Nobody does it better than this kid. And that's the scary thing as far as taking what he has to do. Man, he looks ugly at times. When he's flushed out of pocket, he throws it out of bounds all the damn time. He doesn't risk it. He is never going to put his team at risk. Yeah. I love the way he plays.
Nice of everybody to remind the Eagles fans yesterday who were booing.
They got booed off the field at halftime.
It's really nice of everybody that the Eagles fans sometimes don't even appreciate how great they're doing.
They've won 19 out of